So I've basically got a metric ton of information to release, and I'm trying to think about how to do it in the best way and release the most bite-sized pieces so everyone can kind of break down what has come out of almost a 3-month investigation that has been going on quietly behind the scenes between myself, distributors, local game stores, other YouTubers who may or may not be making videos about it. I don't want to out anyone because that's not what I do. If you remember a few months ago, I talked about a outlet on eBay called Sports and More, which has a reputation for blowing out booster boxes literally below cost after you take out fees. To give you some background on it, I've done the math. It's killing local game stores. Distributors are getting killed. And Wizards of the Coast absolutely knows who it is. And the last time a lot of people said, just leave it alone, man. Let us have our cheap booster boxes. That's okay. I know it's an emotional reaction and not everyone's going to take the time to understand the bigger picture. If you're one of those people, go ahead and thumbs down the video and leave and screech about how all I care about is drama. The rest of the people who are interested in knowing why this sort of thing is important or already know why this sort of thing is important, I'm going to share the numbers with you, and I'm going to share who I think, based on several anonymous leads, is this seller actually is. For a while now, people have been worshiping at the altar of Sports and More. They have a reputation of pre-selling product when a set comes out for a price of $79.99 and then kind of settling in at $85 during the current, when a set is still current. When you take out the lowest possible fees, actually, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the numbers, okay? Because I like to show the receipts. What? Okay. I have two different scenarios here laid out, all right? Rivals of Ixalan, current price $84.99, pre-sale price $79.99. This is the 7% eBay fee plus the 1.9% PayPal fee. You see the price drag down, and this is from talking to my sources, this is probably what they're paying to ship a single box. You can see they net $71.93 at $85 and at $67.37 at the $79.99 pre-sale price. A lot of people said, well, they're scamming people. No, they aren't. I've bought boxes from them. I get the box every time. Their eBay feedback is overwhelmingly positive. You can see in this scenario, they are either making a paltry $3.93 per box or losing 63 cents per box. This is using the lowest quoted wholesale price available. Now, a lot of people's original feedback was, dude, you don't know how it works. When you buy thousands of boxes, you get better prices from distributors. No, you're wrong. This is the best pricing available. I've seen as low as $67.50, but I get these numbers directly from distributors. I welcome you, if you're going to be typing that kind of comment, to prove me wrong. Okay? Now remember, these numbers do not include the rent for your facility. They do not include your utilities, your power, your internet, your heating, your cooling. This does not include the packing material, the bubble wrap, the boxes, all this sort of thing. And it doesn't include what is assuredly several employees on salary to pack and ship your thousands of orders. So every time a new set comes out, they're pre-selling thousands of boxes. They are getting packed and shipped by an employee that's getting paid, I don't know, $10 to $12 an hour. You might be able to do 10 or 20 boxes an hour, but where are, this has a real cost, okay? So we can effectively agree if we're approaching this in an intellectually honest way, and I think you're going to see a pretty popular guy coming out and confirming my numbers soon, but we'll see. We can all agree that they're not making any money, right? Now, even if you're shipping 1,000 or 2,000 boxes, your overhead does get pretty small per box. Maybe it's $1 or $2 a box. Maybe it's $3 a box. It's not a huge number, but you can effectively see they're making no money here. And that's using the lowest recorded wholesaler distributor prices for a new set. They're making no money. So you can see why originally I thought that perhaps this was a distributor. I actually thought, I was pretty certain it had to be a distributor, right? Nobody's buying and shipping these boxes. They have to be coming directly out of a distributor. I think I'm wrong about that now based on new information. I want to show you another scenario. When a brand new set comes out, do you want to know what stores actually pay per box? $75.98. That's their cost from Wizards. Which means in both scenarios, if it was somebody just selling boxes they got from Wizards, they would be losing money. And again, not including rent, utilities, packing material, employees to pack and ship, or any other incidentals. The listing fee to list something on eBay, if they're bolding it, that has a cost. All these things. I'm not even capturing most of the cost. So if we're on the same journey together and we care why this is about the future of Magic, we can agree that this model is not profitable at all. If it were to be a distributor directly, that would be breaking terms and conditions of Wizards of the Coast, and I don't think that's the case. I don't think any of them are doing that. Why? Because I've talked with people who have talked directly to distributors, and I've talked to people in distributor circles. They're just as pissed as everyone else because local game stores are coming to them and saying, you've got to sell me boxes cheaper than $68 because Sports and More is blowing out boxes and my customers aren't buying from me. This is killing local game stores. We're doing it to ourselves. Then this week, I met with a source very high up in the tournament scene, the huge Grand Prix scene, things like that. He shared with me the missing puzzle piece. Okay, this is why I'm thinking perhaps there might be something funny going on. Nobody's in business to lose money. A lot of people said, oh, well, they're doing it for the cash back. I don't think so. There's too much risk. Cash back only works if you're liquidating 100% of your inventory, which they're certainly not doing. So I have confirmed with a source that I trust very much. They've been vetted, and I hope, as you've noticed, I vet my sources, and I also don't burn them. So Channel Fireball is getting boxes, according to my source, for in the 40s for their Grand Prix. 40s or 50s is what he said. Okay. This person would know. That's all I can say about them. Now, let's see what happens if, I make my cost $45, right? All of a sudden, this starts to make a lot more sense, right? Now you're making $20 a box. Now we're talking. So based on what I've been told, and I've reached out for comment from Channel Fireball directly. They have not responded. I don't expect them to respond. But let me paint two scenarios for you. And one possible scenario is CFBE, Channel Fireball Events, has a shell company. And somebody inside of CFBE owns Sports and More or knows somebody, and they have some sort of direct deal. I think that's a longer shot. Another scenario is Channel Fireball is selling excess boxes to whoever MVP is. Let's say they're like a guy like Rudy, and they have the operation to unload everything. And they have a cost basis on these boxes of like $45 or $50. So a guy like Rudy comes along who owns MVP or Sports and More and says, hey, I'll buy all of your boxes for $52.50 no matter what. So when Channel Fireball has extra product, they could conceivably unload it to this seller who would then dump it on the market at cost. Based on the numbers that they're pre-selling, the only conceivable solution that I've come up with in the past 3 or 4 months of investigating is that they're either a distributor, Wizards of the Coast themselves, which I highly doubt, or now it's perhaps a tournament organizer. And from what I can understand, Channel Fireball is the only one that gets this crazy discount nowadays. I have confirmed that other tournament organizers did receive the same discount. Now, in and of itself, this discount is not nefarious. I think running Grand Prix probably isn't a very profitable thing. And so Wizards probably gives them a great deal on the product to help offset the cost. I have no problem with that if they're maintaining the market. But if they're funneling off their extras to somebody else, whether it be through their own shell corporation or in some just direct deal, this is against the terms of service, and this I have a problem with. So, what is it? Why does it matter? Well, it matters because it's killing local game stores. It's killing singles prices. A lot of people say, I don't care, I just want stuff to be cheap. Yeah? Will you say that when booster boxes are $45 and stacked to the ceiling? And the price is still $4 a pack in Walmart and stuff like that. They're still trying to get $4 a pack, and the EV on booster boxes is 30 or 40 bucks. Will you say that when your local game stores stop supporting Magic the Gathering because they can't spare the floor space because they're not making any money on the product? Will you say that when you're still paying $4 a booster pack and you can't ever at least make your money back? I don't think you will. I think a lot of people are young and they're short-sighted, and Magic players, we can get a little drunk on value and forget the big picture. The big picture is they're a big enough market force that they are depressing the entire market. And people can't make any money. And as players, it's easy for you to be like, oh, well, good. I want to get my packs for cheap. Ask yourself why you care about getting your packs for cheap. If you were paying $3 a pack, but the cards were worth a penny, would you be happy? If you were paying $2 a pack and the most value you're ever going to pull would be 50 cents, would you be happy? No. This is how card games die. And I'm going to put out the beacon, as I've asked for official comment from Channel Fireball. Remember that WotC asked for this at gmail.com is open. I'm looking to make the connection between where Sports and More are getting their boxes and what's happening to the extra boxes that Channel Fireball clearly isn't selling. I went to the Grand Prix in Indianapolis, and the place was pretty empty. 1,800 people in the main event. It could have been because it was SEAL Team, maybe. Let me put out some other anecdotal pieces of evidence. Remember when Sports and More dumped hundreds or maybe thousands of boxes of Iconic Masters on all of us at $120, and the subject line was, calling all investors. And they were selling it for $120 below cost or at cost. Where do you think those boxes came from? It's not a distributor. It's probably not Wizards of the Coast. Who else in the whole country has the cost basis to offload Iconic Masters at cost? Here's another piece of anecdotal evidence. When I was at the event this weekend, I noticed something curious on the prize wall. There was no unstable. It was by far the most popular thing that I had to draft at BandCon, but Channel Fireball didn't have any. You know who else doesn't have any? Sports and More. Now, these two things on their own are not that big of a deal, entirely possibly coincidence. But when you start to layer in the cost of these boxes, something doesn't smell right. And look, if you don't care about Magic being around for another 20 years, then fine. You didn't even make it this far in the video. You already called me a drama whore, and disliked the video and left. But if you get the picture, I'm not saying we shouldn't have affordable cards. I'm saying the balance is dangerously out of whack, and we are on a huge bubble right now. Players are demanding cheaper and cheaper cards. People want to get paid money to open booster packs. It doesn't happen. Product is down across the market. Some distributors have told me numbers are down from 20 to 40%. Wizards of the Coast is desperate to sell packs. Why do you think there's been 3 Masters products in a 12-year span or 12-month span? All the signs are there that we're on a huge bubble. And stuff like this is adding gas to the fire. There's a whole lot more to talk about. Whole lot more, including MJ Holdings, what's going on with some shady stuff there, some possible MTGO buyouts. I've got a lot to talk about over the next couple days, but I want to separate everything so we can work together to try and figure this out. So Watsy asked for this at gmail.com. Please, if you have any information, share it with me. I promise to keep you anonymous. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you want to be notified the next time I upload a video, make sure you subscribe and click that damn bell so you actually get notified. If you want to support the cause of this channel, it survives based on the amazingly gracious support of my patrons. Link is in the description if you'd like to help out.